dancing through the lightning strikes.
A rock legend was just asked one question on camera. If she gets inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, who does she want standing next to her to make the introduction? She didn't hesitate. She didn't think about it. She said one name. And the reason she said that name goes back decades. To a little girl sitting in an arena watching this woman play guitar for the first time and deciding in that moment that she wanted to do the same thing for the rest of her life. That little girl grew up to become the biggest musician on the planet, and now the woman who lit that spark wants her there for the biggest honor of her career. Let's talk about everything that's happening this summer, because the timeline Taylor Swift is about to walk through is unlike anything we've ever seen.
Never in my life have I felt so myself. This is who I was actually meant to be. Oh, wow.
So here's the story. A legendary rock artist, the voice behind some of the biggest hits of the 90s, was just announced as a first-time nominee for the 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class. When she was asked in an interview who she'd want to present her induction, she immediately said, Taylor Swift. The connection between them is real and documented. She's the artist who inspired Taylor to pick up a guitar as a child. Taylor has talked about attending her concerts as a kid and being so moved by what she saw that she decided music was going to be her life. The Rock Hall's own website states that her influence is heard in artists like Taylor Swift. So when she said Taylor's name, it wasn't a publicity move. It was a woman looking back at a career that changed lives and saying, I want the life I changed the most to be the one standing next to me. And here's where the irony gets sharp. Taylor Swift herself is not nominated for the 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 17 artists made the ballot, legends across every genre, but Taylor's name isn't on it. The question actually trended on social media. People were searching whether she was in the Rock Hall. The answer is no. Not yet. And honestly, she doesn't need to be. Because while the Rock Hall left her off the list, the Songwriters Hall of Fame didn't just nominate her, they're inducting her. On June 11, 2026, at the Marriott Marquis in New York City, Taylor Swift will officially become a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame alongside names like Kiss, Alanis Morissette, and Kenny Loggins. Her cited songs for the induction include All Too Well, the 10-minute version, Blank Space, Anti-Hero, Love Story, and The Last Great American Dynasty. Now here's the part where the timeline gets insane. The Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala is on Thursday, June 11th. Taylor Swift's rumored wedding date is Saturday, June 13th. That is a 48-hour window between the biggest professional honor of her career and the biggest personal moment of her life. She'll be in New York on Thursday night being inducted into songwriting history, and by Saturday afternoon, she needs to be standing on a beach in Rhode Island marrying Travis Kelce. The logistics alone are mind-bending, getting from a black-tie gala in Manhattan to a lockdown wedding venue on the coast of Rhode Island with presumably hundreds of guests, military-level security, and the most anticipated ceremony of the decade, in 48 hours.
Who invited you to her wedding?
I can say nothing.
That means it's happening.
I've signed so many NDAs.
Are you looking forward to the, mother-son dance at the wedding?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah?
For sure.
Did you have to sign an NDA, even though you're the mother?
No. No, they know I can keep a secret.
Okay.
And knowing Taylor, the induction speech will probably make everyone cry, because this is the woman who rewrote the rules of songwriting ownership, who re-recorded her entire catalog to reclaim her masters, who wrote a 10-minute version of a breakup song that became the emotional anthem of an entire generation. Being inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame isn't just an honor. It's validation of the thing Taylor has always said matters most to her. She's not a performer who writes songs. She's a songwriter who happens to be the biggest performer alive. And 2 days after the world acknowledges that, she walks down the aisle. Now let's talk about what Travis has been doing while this summer takes shape, because his off-season is telling its own story. Earlier this month, Travis showed up as his brother Jason's +1 at a major indoor golf event in Florida. Jason was there as a special guest commentator for the network, and Travis tagged along because he'd been wanting to check out the technology for months. They'd even talked about it on the podcast. Travis said he'd always wanted to go, and Jason said he'd love to have him come down.
Do you get a +1?
Yes, I would love to have you if you're willing to come down.
Yeah.
I've heard from everybody how state of the art and incredible this technology is. So I can't wait to check it out firsthand. What Tiger and all those guys have done at TGL is just remarkable.
So epic, man.
When Travis got there, he tried the virtual golf setup, went on the broadcast, and called the whole experience absolutely epic. Jason, never missing a chance to hype his little brother, told the anchor that Travis has been smooth his whole life, adding all power and explosion. Travis also connected with one of golf's all-time legends before the match, chatting about swings and sports and life in general. What's interesting about that night isn't the golf, it's the vibe. Travis Kelce looked relaxed, happy, comfortable in a world that isn't football. He's playing in Pro-Am tournaments. He's doing broadcast appearances with his brother. He's attending sporting events as a fan, not as a player. And when you combine that with what happened at the Super Bowl in February, the picture becomes even clearer. Travis showed up at Super Bowl LX in Santa Clara, but he was on the sideline in a black suit, not in a uniform, and Taylor wasn't with him. She skipped the event entirely. After 2 straight years of being the most photographed person at the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift chose to stay home. Sources say she's made a decision to avoid football spotlight events until Travis retires. That's not a couple pulling apart. That's a couple who's made a conscious choice to protect their peace during the most important year of their lives. Everything about 2026 has been intentional. The low-profile date nights, the quiet mornings watching hockey, the sourdough baking, the otter adoptions, the private trips to Montana, and the house hunting near Cleveland. Travis and Taylor are building a life that exists outside of stadiums and arenas and red carpets.
Me and Tay watched the entire game, man, and it's just so epic, man. When from the first drop of the puck, man, that game was nonstop action and just had me at the edge of my seat at 8:05 in the morning or 8:10 in the morning, whenever it was, man. And loved every bit of it, man.
I've talked to Taylor, my Taylor, about this a few times, but she grew up in the country world in Nashville and in high school and coming up, and she raves about how together they are, how they maneuver on tour and stuff like that. She was underneath a lot of these big country singers.
As a special surprise from us here at NGL, me and the girls, we actually adopted a giant river otter.
What?
At the Philadelphia Zoo in your name.
First of all, big zoo guy. Uncle Trav, this is amazing.
That's for you.
When Travis shows me videos of otters on his Instagram algorithm.
I want
It's an
a
interesting animal.
I want a wild otter so bad. I just want to find these little creatures.
Every time I go past some sort of creek or river, in my mind, there's an otter standing up on a rock waving to me. I've had dreams like this. This is crazy. It's just I just know they're the friendly.
And it was Big Ed Kelce's birthday. Shout out to Big Ed.
That's right.
Making
Winning
another
gold on Big Ed's birthday.
Hell yeah, man. What more fitting for the big guy on his birthday. And so we gave him a shout and talked to him a little bit during the game.
And the wedding is the official beginning of that life. And the way this summer lines up is almost poetic in its precision. April 18th, Elizabeth Taylor vinyl drops on Record Store Day, a song named after the most famous bride in history, born from a car ride conversation between Taylor and Travis, pressed onto violet glitter vinyl 56 days before the wedding.
I had just been sent, my parents sent me this clip of Elizabeth Taylor's son saying something very flattering that basically if there was one person he would say he might compare to his mother in modern day in terms of just, I guess, the persona and the whole, chaos going on around us, he said he would say me. I was so flattered by that when I read it. I just immediately started talking to Travis about it. I was just going on and on about Elizabeth Taylor, talking about all the things about her that I love, all the things that made her so glamorous and funny and witty and interesting, and how she kept challenging herself late into her life, kept taking on roles that were different and brave and raw. And get out of the car. I was 1 second, we're parked. I was I have to get out of the car for a second, and just sang this melody into my phone, got back in the car, and that's what that's like when that happens.
June 11th, Songwriters Hall of Fame induction in New York City. the culmination of a 20-year career that started because a little girl watched a rock legend play guitar and decided she wanted to do that too. And now that same rock legend wants Taylor to stand next to her at the Rock Hall. June 13th, the wedding, Ocean House, Watch Hill, Rhode Island, a triple Forbes 5-star venue on the coast, locked down for the weekend, rooms at $9,500 a night, every booking marked restricted and unavailable. The guest list includes bridesmaids, a best man, an NDA-signing talk show host, and possibly the most famous friends on the planet. 48 hours between being honored for the words she's written and saying the 2 words that will change her life forever. The Rock Hall can wait. The Songwriters Hall knows. And Taylor Swift is about to have the most important week any artist has ever had, not because of the awards or the charts or the $14 billion she made her label, but because on a Saturday in June, on a beach in Rhode Island, she becomes someone's wife. And the woman who made her pick up that guitar in the first place? She'll probably be watching from somewhere, knowing that every song Taylor ever wrote, every lyric, every melody, every 10-minute masterpiece, started with her.
There's this song that Taylor wrote about us, and it was called Family. And it was over easily a decade ago. Insinuating in the lyrics, without quoting it, is basically saying you have these amazing dreams, you want to be in movies. Like, in every crowd, I still see you. Now, when I listen to that song, both of those things makes me want to cry have happened for us.
That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.